What's up, guys? How's it going? Today is November 16th, 2019. And in this video, we're going to take a look at the fight that occurred the other night during the NFL football game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. In this game, Myles Garrett actually stripped the helmet from Mason Rudolph, striking him in the head with it. A level of assault which is almost never seen in professional sports, and one that could have brought criminal charges upon this man. However, Mason Rudolph, he's a little cooler than that. He just said it's part of the game, heat of the battle, whatever. Didn't press any charges, but nevertheless, this was a pretty extreme incident for pro sports. And in a league where games are routinely decided by absolutely inexplicable officiating calls, we have to bring into question whether a fight like this was truly legit. After all, if the games are rigged, which most of us on this channel anyway believe they are, then how can a fight occur naturally when neither men are truly competing? I guess maybe it could happen if things get a little too physical, but I'm going to bring a lot of doubt into that thought in this video by exposing the numerology behind this incident and how it essentially points to the fact that this was all scripted. After all, I mean, yes, a man was struck in the head with a blunt object, and you might wonder how someone could sign up and agree to something like that. I remind you that all of these chair shots that you're seeing on the right side of your screen are also staged. So it's not like people won't or aren't willing to take a little pain for a little fame and fortune. So I'm actually going to start this video about halfway down into this post. Mason Rudolph's first name, Mason, is a key to this riddle. It's the Scottish rite of Freemasonry that's essentially running our federal government, our mainstream media, and our rigged sports leagues. And we're told that the highest degree of Freemasonry is the 33rd degree. Well, the word masonry, using Pythagorean Gematria, the method that reduces each double-digit number to a single digit prior to adding it to the equation, sums to 33. This is a number of secrecy, Freemasonry, a secret society, keeping order over the society, Society 33, with the police, 33. Almost all state police, large city police, all of these, all intertwined closely with Masonry. So, this game took place in the city of Cleveland, and Cleveland is the largest city in America that sums to 33 in the standard reduction method. In this game, it was Cleveland's #1 overall pick who got suspended, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was born December 29th of 1995, meaning that he turns 33 years old in the year 2028. Well, if you measure from the date of this game, November 14th, to his 33rd birthday, you get exactly 3,333 days. Now, we mentioned how Masonry equals 33, but look at the name Mason Rudolph. Notice how it sums to 156 and 66 and 60 in reduction. When you write out the number 33 as it's spelled, it sums to 156, 66, and 60. Notice how if you reverse the alphabetic order, this cipher assigning 1 to the letter Z, Y gets to all the way through A as 26. In this method, Cleveland equals 165. Mason Rudolph was born on July 17th, also in 95, the same year that Myles Garrett was born. Meaning that if you measure between their two birthdays, you get exactly 165 days. Remember, it's the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, whose headquarters are in Washington, D.C. Scottish Rite in the alphabetic order, also summing to 165. The Freemason compass, which draws the circle, is set to 47 degrees. The circle equals 47 in reduction. This game occurring on November 14th, the date that leaves 47 days on the calendar. Now, there's also a riddle involving First Energy Stadium, the stadium in which this game occurred. A pretty big riddle, I would say. First Energy Stadium opened on September 12th of 1999, meaning the stadium was 20 years and 63 days old on the date of this game. Oops. Using extended gematria, English extended, notice how the word Masonic equals 263, this cipher mirroring Hebrew gematria and Greek isopsephy. Furthermore, the word Masonic equals 74. The name Myles equals 74 in that same method. In Jewish gematria, the name Garrett equals 373, which is the 74th prime number. Myles Garrett's full name, Myles Lorenz Garrett, sums to 253 and 233, using the standard ordinal ciphers. Again, this was a ritual for First Energy Stadium, which also equals 253 and 233. Notice how the Cleveland Browns have now won 58 games in this stadium since it opened in 1999. Well, 58 is a pretty interesting number because Freemasonry has a reduction value of 58. And think about this, right? This guy named Mason, he wears the number 2. And when you write out 2, it equals 58. Think about how the Packers, whose logo is a capital G, like the Freemasonic emblem, they also have a player named Mason who wears number 2. Mason Crosby, the kicker. This game resulted in the defeat of Pittsburgh, 58, for Cleveland's 58th win in the stadium's history. Now, I want to point out how the name Garrett, as it appears on his jersey, with all capital letters. Notice how this sums to 271 in Francis Bacon gematria. This is also a prime number. It's the 58th prime number. Of course, Francis Bacon gematria using capital letters, adding 26 for each. Also interesting is that the final score was a reshuffling of these numbers, 21-7. For a total of 28 points. Not only does Mason equals 28 in reverse, but the winner of the game, the Browns, equals 28. Also worth pointing out how Garrett wears number 95, and the man he attacked, Rudolph, has a name that sums to 95 in reverse. There's also a riddle involving the Cleveland Browns' history. Here we see the Browns were established on the date June 4th of 1944. 6-4-44. The date of this game had numerologies of both 64 and 44. These numbers found in the gematria of kill, 64, 44. Also, notice the number 17. We talked about the 28 just a second ago. Here you have a 17. Well, if you measure from that date to the date of the game, you find the Browns were 163 days after their anniversary. Their number one pick who got suspended was Myles Garrett, which using the alphabetic order equals 163. Now, in reverse, this guy's name equals 161. Well, the 161st prime number is 947. And look at Mason Rudolph's full name. Using Jewish Gematria, it sums to 947. So these guys are numerically linked through a prime relationship. And, you know, I find it interesting that they call this guy Mason Rudolph when Mason is actually his middle name. Again, this is because this is all about a Freemasonic riddle, and Mason Rudolph is a much better name for that than Brett Rudolph. Of course, this goes a little deeper as well. Pittsburgh is now 5-5 after the loss. The name Myles Garrett equals 55 in reduction. The Browns, meanwhile, are now 4-6. The name Garrett equals 46. He's now suspended, which equals 46. And this game took place a span of 46 days with the end date included before his birthday. The word chaos equals 46. Also 19 in reduction. And this game had numerology of 19. Here we are in the 2019 season. So it's a pretty clear Freemasonic riddle. Myles Garrett getting suspended 3,333 days before his 33rd birthday in Cleveland, which equals 33, against a quarterback who has matching Gematria with 33. Well, check out Mason Rudolph, right? Born July 17th of 1995. Now, it's interesting because this game ended right around midnight on the East Coast, which means on that date, Mason Rudolph was exactly a span of 8,888 days old. And isn't it interesting that the United States of America, who was essentially built by Freemasonry, George Washington, the president, himself a Freemason, the U.S. became a country on July 4th of 1776, and look how old the United States was on that same date. 88,888 days old. Pretty interesting stuff. Great alignments. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this little short video here. Thanks to everybody who popped in. Might do another video or two this weekend yet. We'll see. All right, guys. I'll be signing off. Peace, love, God bless. Adios.